What is up, my friends? Kevin here, the Tattoo Toy Hunter. And today I decided to do something a little different, something that I'm supposed to have been doing for years, but I don't show off as much as I'd like, and that's comic books that I've picked up. So I got a little stack of comics. I don't know how I'm going to go about this and if I'm going to change the way I kind of present these comics right now. I need to get a better setup as well. But I would love to show off comic book pickups more often than I do. So I'm going to go ahead through a stack and let's talk about them a little bit. If I can show off some of the new comics I picked up, and if they happen to be like key issues that I may not be aware of, let me know in the comments below. I would think that would be fun. So let's go ahead and start off with this 64-page annual. This is, let's see, The Punisher, guest starring Moon Knight. Sorry, it's in the plastic, so that kind of gives that glare. But this is The Punisher annual featuring Moon Knight. Let's see. This is a 1989. This is, I think, the second annual, so it's number 2. But it is thicker. This is one that I probably purchased back in the day. I was a big collector, 80s and 90s, so I do have a lot of my own stuff. But Moon Knight is such an interesting character, and then tagging him up with the Punisher, which is the anti-hero that everybody loves. It's a good shot of them two together. This one's in good shape, actually. The book itself is not really beat up. It's got a little discoloration, but not terrible. So definitely a cool book. If any of you are into the Punisher, which Atlantis Attacks this one. It's a really cool book. Let's see, I'm trying to make some room here so I can. All right, next one is going to be Image Comics number 4, and this is the Savage Dragon. One of my favorite Image heroes is Savage Dragon. I have several action figures of Savage Dragon. Just a very unique guy. I believe there's a female dragon, also Savage Dragon female. Very cool. This is definitely one of my favorites. Let's see here. Image, always known for just the high gloss, beautiful pictures. Dragon is just such a cool character. Look at those. The artwork is just gorgeous. These are, for me, in the 80s and 90s, these were so fun to read because of how they presented the comic. It wasn't like the dry, sketchy, newspaper-looking comics. Look at that, just beautiful. This is number 4. I do have number 1, 2, and 3 as well. All right, going to the next is going to be Rick and Morty. This is issue 1. Very cool comic. Also, this one's got a beautiful color, high gloss. Well, it's not as high gloss, but it's well done artwork. So if you enjoyed the Rick and Morty cartoon series, these comics are great. I would definitely suggest checking them out. Very nice. All right, going to the next comic is going to be issue number 50. So this is way out. This is super thick. Again, Adult Swim. Let's see here. Take a look here. Same publishers. This is just a thicker book. But as you can see, again, beautiful artwork. And this comic book is like new. The pages are just so sharp. No dents, no crinkles in it. I do remember this character in the cartoons, I think in that season 1. Too great. Of course, we love C-137. This is when he goes back and looks at all the memories that Rick Sanchez has wiped from his memory. It's cool. He sees all the little things he got into before. It's pretty funny. All right, moving to the next. This is going to be issue 2 of Doom Patrol, DC's Young Animal. I don't know what that is. But also love the series, Doom Patrol series. One of my faves. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. Doom Patrol is great. The comic series and the show with Brendan Fraser as a Robot Man. I do need to pick up a action figure of that guy. Man, I wish I could do something about this. Next one, Doom Patrol again. This is See, this was two, so this is issue 1, Doom Patrol, Justice League, crossover look we got. That is very cool. Lobo in the mix with Doom Patrol, you gotta love that. And then you got Batman as well in the mix. Man, what a first issue. So, excellent, excellent comic book. I did read this one when I purchased it. There we go, I think that's standing up better. Next one is New Mutant. This is one of the newer looking issues, issue 27. Sugar Man. So that's cool that we get Sugar Man in this issue, part 3. The New Mutants is one of my favorite series to read in the 80s. So very cool to see one of the reboots. Next up is the Mighty Thor, and this is issue 447. Let's see if I can. There's the. I think this is 92. Still fun to read. This is guest starring the Amazing Spider-Man, so definitely cool. Strange Alliances. Next one is again a Hunter Prey book 3. This is Doomsday. This looks like a more of a graphic novel. So Doomsday is always fun to watch. He did a number to Superman. This is Superman Prime. Beautiful glossy pages, well done. A good shot of Doomsday. That's a good read. All right, next up we got Batman and Robin Adventures. This is the issue 7. This is more the animated version styling, I guess. It's a little older, as you can tell. It's kind of that gritty kind of page feel to it, but it is in color, so it looks good. I never really got into the animated comic book series, but I love the action figures and the cartoons. So this one's in good shape, but the discoloration is kind of showing a little. I like this ventriloquist. I can't remember the ventriloquist doll's name. Is it Scarface or? I don't remember. If you know, comment below, please. I know someone's got to remember. Next up, we got issue 272 of the Avengers. This is Submariner versus Atuma. This is has to be. Let me see if I can zoom in here. 86, I believe. Guest starring Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight's awesome. Another one of my top 10 favorite groups. So very nice. Zoom in. There you go. Next up is Swamp Thing. One of my favorite. This is Vertigo Annual number 7. The Children's Crusade. I'm a huge Swamp Thing fan. The cover looks really cool. I like the castle over here. Let's make some room. So there's some discoloration here. This one's got a lot of kids in it. I don't know much about that. I don't remember reading this Swamp Thing, but I will, because I love collecting Swamp. I see Swamp Thing, I just buy it. Huge Swamp Thing fan, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't see Swamp Thing specifically in this very much. So I don't know what the storyline is. It's kind of silly looking, but maybe it's great. I'm not giving it a chance. But very little Swamp Thing. In fact, I haven't even seen him in the usual form that he takes. So I'm assuming, who knows? Anyway. Issue 7, this is 1993. Next up, one of my faves, Lobo, issue 1. Un-American Gladiators. That is cool. Lobo is such a great character. It's a pretty nice looking cover. 1 of 4, so this is like a little mini series. This was $225 when it came, $175, I'm sorry, and it's a 93. Very nice. Next up again, this is, let's see, this is number 2 of the 4. This is 93 also, Un-American Gladiators. And we have a great shot here of Lobo in action, which is one of the, man, he's one tough character to defeat. Anybody collect Lobo or love him? I need to get some of the more recent action figures that I think McFarlane came out with. And one of my buddies said they're going to make his the bike he cruises around in space with, I think, his bulldog pet. Man, wouldn't that be awesome? All right, next up is Prism issue 1 of Crusader. So this is all black and white. It's kind of different. Page and all, everything's black and white. So that is interesting. I'm not a big fan of the black and white comics. I do love the visual effects of a high gloss color, especially for some of my favorite characters, but you know, I probably got this for pennies, because sometimes I'll buy like 20 little packs of 20 or so. This is the Infinity Crusade, $2.50 when it came out. This is issue 3. I do not see. This looks like it's probably mid to late 80s, 90s. I don't see it, anything giving the, well, maybe not. I think this guy, oh, 90s. So this is a 90s, I'm sure. We got a lot of big characters here. Mephisto. We got Thanos. So you know it's gonna be an awesome comic book with Thanos tearing it up. Look at that, tough guys, a lot of groups here. Very nice. If you want to stop the goddess, you'll have to deal with me. No, thank you. It says Mephisto, Warlock, and Thanos, the unholy trinity. Moving on, we got Detective Comics issue 690. Man, that's, and this is, I think this says 96 if I'm not mistaken. We got Batman and Robin in the front, lurking in the darkness. DC Universe. So I love this high gloss. Like, again, this is beautiful pages. It really intrigues me to want to read stories like this, especially it's Batman and Robin. I mean, beautiful. Oh yes. So definitely cool. There we go. I don't like that. All right, so this one I picked up. This one's not in the greatest of shape. This is issue 2 in a 6-issue miniseries, and this is Robin 3. It says Cry of the Huntress. Oh, Huntress, part 2 of 6. So I haven't read this one yet. This is, I picked this up in a lot as well, but it's gorgeous. This one's a lot older. You can tell the pages kind of got that color to it and that feel to it. But super cool. Definitely going to end up reading this. Especially I love the miniseries. I mean, it's easy to complete. You don't have to read 700 to 1,000 comics like some of the longer running comics. This is the miniseries you can knock out. And I think some of my favorite miniseries growing up in the 80s, or not growing up in the 80s, but reading in the 80s and 90s was like Deathlock, Deadpool. They did some really powerful miniseries that I just really enjoyed. All right, so we got Dawn, number 1. Based on the price, it was probably in the later 90s to 2000s, so this looks like 90s. Let's see here, if I can zoom in with my bad eyesight. And this is 95. It looks like 90s too, but still nice, colorful pages. Very cool looking. Some demonic characters in here. I'll be honest, I've never heard of her before picking this up. Then we got issue 530, Detective Comics. This is 95, and it says Underworld Unleashed, The Adventures of Superman. Anything Superman related, the trial of Superman. So this is something I would definitely climb into to read. Let's see. Different Demons. This is a really good looking comic. I have not read this one either that I can recall. Some of these I pick up and then they get put somewhere and everything's so junked up in my collection area that I don't get around to them. But now that I'm pulling them out, I'm definitely gonna read through these. I read them quick and sometimes I read them a couple times. Looks like we got Superboy here in this. Definitely cool looking. Oh. Adventures of Superman. Next up, we got Moon Knight, issue 1. How about that? Side by side with Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. How cool is that? Moon Knight and Shang-Chi together, issue 1. And this is a 92, I want to say it says, Marvel. That is awesome. I like to collect whether they're key issues or not. You know, sometimes I do or sometimes I don't know. I'll look it up. But issue 1s and then matchups of like kind of, well, usually A-list characters. These two maybe not A-list, but they're very well known. Moving on. So we got issue number 1, Superman, Our Worlds at War. It's really cartoonish. The artwork, it may just be the cover, but Secret Files and Origins. This is a 2001. Very cool looking. Not gonna get rid of that glare, I guess. Nope. Whoop. I need a better setup for comic book. Got a Lobo. This was originally someone put a sticker on it for $2. And this says Blazing Chain of Love. This was $1.50. So $1.50. Going by price, probably stupid. It's probably late 80s, 90s to mid 90s issue. It doesn't say on here. Definitely cool though. This next one is good. This is Swamp Thing issue 5, DC Comics. Look how gorgeous that is. Love the comic. It just pops. As soon as you see it, it pops. This must be like a reboot story. This is a 2016, so it's not old. But I love the high gloss. The makes it fun to read. This one has a lot more. Oh, we got Deadman. He's always a cool character to come out in comics and the animated cartoons and stuff, stories. Very cool. Swamp Thing. Okay, here's an older one again. This is issue 2 of Savage Dragon. Enter Super Patriot. Super Patriot's a cool character. This is Image, second intense issue. $1.95 when it came out, October 2nd. This is probably late 80s, early 90s. One of my favorites to collect, Savage Dragon, as I said on one of the other copies. Coming up next, we got, this is an annual of Suicide Squad, issue 1. This was $5 when it came out. Can't imagine it being really old. Against the Wrath of Swamp Thing. So how exciting is that? Again, and there he is. I mean, the front cover's gorgeous. It just draws you in immediately. And it's an issue 1. And it's got multiple characters I really like. You got Domino. So, I don't know, was Domino ever part of the Suicide Squad? I don't recall that. Because usually Suicide Squad's villains. Domino's usually, I think, on the good side. Next up, 231. This is 2007's The Flash. Very cool looking. I see Akuna's name on a lot of these. The beginning. Okay. Continuing on. This looks fun here. Goodness, I have 2 and 3, so I'll show them both at the same time. This is He-Man Thundercats crossover. I think before I picked these up, I didn't know this existed. This is another mini-series. This is 1 of 6. This is 2 and 3 though, but there's 6 mini-series comics. This was 2017. Let's take a look here. Let's just open this up. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Look at this artwork. I mean, and it's Thundercats. Look, there's the Thunder Tank. Is that not amazing? That He-Man's, you know, He-Man and Thundercats were just so exciting in the 80s. I mean, big, muscular superheroes. But a crossover, who would have known? You see Man-at-Arms there, Teela, King Randor, Orko, just so many important characters in the Motu universe. And then in the back you got Panthro, Tigra, just so many important characters I got there. I'm super impressed that I even got those. I forgot that I picked these up. Okay, next up is issue 6. Again, of Savage Dragon. Man, I got a lot of Savage in this. I got one of the older McFarlane toys where he's in his cop outfit. So, super cool. This was 50 cents on clearance somewhere. I don't remember if I actually paid that, but I think it was in a probably cheaper because I bought it in a pack of. But look at these high gloss Image is known for. Beautiful. Really dig that. That. So it looks like we got the Patriot again, getting his butt kicked by Savage Dragon. Oh yeah, gorgeous. We've got Larfleeze, and this looks like a yellow, the new 52. This is issue 1. Huh, he's what is this, like a yellow lantern? Or did they have orange as well? This book's all mine. Wow, I didn't know that any of these kind of side characters got their own run. I bet it didn't go well for him. I don't know how many, but it's still cool. Man, look at this one. Next one up, Swamp Thing, issue 1. This was $2.99. It's probably like 2011 it says. I was gonna say mid-2000s. But you got Constantine, Batman, is it Katana? What's her name? The one that he pines after, Constantine is in love with. She's also a magician. Brightest Day Aftermath, The Search for Swamp Thing. Beautiful pages. And then we got Slam Dunk. You got a Grodd, Batman, a Superman, Wonder Woman. You got the Avengers attacking. Very cool. You got Subway for some reason being put in it quite a bit. I don't know. Very nice. Swamp Thing issue 1. Suck, I'd take that right away. And then we got the Red Lantern Corps. This is a one-shot, issue 1. New 52, Future's End. I love all the Lantern storyline. This is the 2014. But I usually will pick up anything Lantern related. Next up, Legion Lost. This is issue 0, new 52. Something I don't know anything about. If anybody reads or this is a 2012 issue. If you know anything about this, let me know in the comments below. Do you read these kind of stories? I usually don't, but if it's not a character, but I need to be more, I guess, open to it. But that's issue 0. We also have issue 2 here. Let's see, and we got some interesting looking characters in here. It says, who is the first Hyper Sapien? It's gotta be some powerful characters. All right, jumping into the next, Monsters Unleashed issue 1. Oh yeah, so we got Miles Morales. Is it a blank on her name? Spider-Man. You've got the Falcon as Captain America. I've seen Nova here, or Kid Nova. I don't know if it looks like Kid Nova. Is that a Fing Fang? That's definitely something I need to read. I don't think I've read any of this stack that I'm showing right now. But issue 1 is dope. All right, let's moving on. Oh, that's okay. Next up is Avengers West Coast. I love West Coast Avengers. Look, this comes with a collectible card with Raptor. That is cool. This is issue 8, 64-page annual. This is 93. You got War Machine in the front cover. I see Hawkeye there. His original outfit, comic book accurate outfit. Great. Love the West Coast Avengers. Jumping into a 2099. This is issue 1 of Doom. Oh man, I love the 2099 stories. I love Doom. This is definitely something I'm gonna jump into. This is January 1st. It's probably in early 90s. I don't see it here on the front cover, so I'm not gonna dig for that. Invincible Iron Man issue 1. Oh, so awesome. $3.99. Let's see, does it say when this came out? It's gotta be a 2000s, but gorgeous. Definitely gonna read that one. Next up is Batman Odyssey issue 1. 1 of 12, so it's a mini series. This was $3.99. It's probably early to mid 2000s. Love Batman, so definitely a reader. Next up is Robin, Joker's Wild 2, and this is issue 1. And it has a really high gloss with those holographic Robin card, and it also has Joker in the front. It says part 1 of 4, Joker's Wild. So not a lot going on in the front cover to let us know what's going on, but definitely worth a read. Okay, this is definitely some stuff I love. Beavis and Butthead issue 1. MTV, so it was $1.95, it's probably early 90s as well. 93, that's down here. Issue 1. Issue 1. I need to give, maybe I'll do a giveaway. Issue 1, I'm gonna give away 2 or 3 of these, so. And I'll do, later on I got a few other things that are Beavis and Butthead related, like pins or cards or something, so if anybody has any interest in Beavis and Butthead comic book, I want y'all to comment on the comments below. Just put hashtag Beavis and Butthead. And I'm going to put together a giveaway that'll be 2 or 3 people. It's exciting. Let's do that. Try not to forget. Look at this. Prime is one of my favorite characters from Malibu Comics that were bought out, I believe, by Marvel back in the early 90s. This one has versus the Hulk, so since it's a crossover with Marvel Comics, I'm pretty sure this is after Ultraverse sold out. But this kid that is Prime is one of my favorites. There was a pretty long-running storyline with Prime, and I have, I think, the first 5 or 10. Definitely cool. So now we got Wolvie. Who wouldn't want to see Wolvie? The Return of Wolverine issue 4. And this gives a little shout out to Stan Lee after he passed away. So this is a pretty new comic. Really cool. Rest in power there, Stan Lee, one of our all-time favorites. Issue 7, The Punisher. And this has Baron Zemo, Peace Through War. It looks good. Looks like a mid-2000s, I'm sure. $3.99 when this came out. Next up, we got Superman, and this is issue 1. Not much other than just says Superman. Good looking heroic stance for him. This is probably mid-2000s as well. Haven't read it. Then we got Black Panther versus Deadpool. What a matchup. This is issue 5. This is also $3.99, probably a mid-2000s. Parental guidance advisory. That's all Deadpool's fault. And I thought my family reunions were brutal. It's terrible. Definitely cool though. Next up, the Skrulls. So this is issue 2, Meet the Skrulls. Skrulls are such a great character. I did, run into the Skrulls storyline off and on throughout the comic book years, but when the movies started coming out and we got a little taste of them, I think in was it the Captain Marvel, where it's the 80s, I think, year, with Samuel L. Jackson as Fury. Here's issue 1 of Mojo, X-Men Black Mojo, issue 1. I started getting into these X-Men Gold, Blue, Black. I love them. Mojo's a super cool character, plus Apocalypse in this comic book. $4.99, so not too old. Definitely something I would jump into to read. Let's see, issue 1, Meet the Skrulls. So we had issue 2, now we got issue 1. Very cool. Shapeshifters. I need to read into these little more, get some more interesting story plot for these guys. Next up is the Hulkverines. This is issue 2. Apparently we got Wolverine, we got Grey Hulk. Can't remember that fool's name with the tall head. I forgot. Weapon H. So definitely cool. Okay, and last but not least, this is the Inhumans Issue 1. This is the all-new Inhumans. I love the Inhumans. I think they're underrated. I think they're really cool looking team. I wouldn't place them up in my top 5 by any means, but I enjoyed the series that got no love and was shut off after season 1. Definitely cool though, so excited to read that. So anyway, this is going to be my comic book haul. If you care to see more, and I've got thousands. If you want to see vintage collection, more modern stuff, or you know, I could dig up some key issues, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to do that. But that's going to be the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Never give up that hunt. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, also, don't forget, I want to do a Beavis and Butthead giveaway because I have so many Beavis comics. We'll do 2 or 3, and it won't just be the comic. I'll put in our stuff. These are in pretty good shape. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure to put hashtag Beavis and Butthead if you are interested. And if not, I guess that's okay also. Anyway, till next time, my friends. Peace. Yeah.